And yeah, it kind of seems. I mean, based on some of the conversations I've had, like I think private equity is coming in pretty hard to home service industries as a whole, like
Mm-hmm.
HVAC, roofing. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
restoration would fall under that. Like, are there any like trends specifically, or anything you've seen as of late, as far as when it comes to private equity and restoration industry as a whole?
Well, the whole deal, you have to understand what the purpose is. The purpose is I have this bucket of money that I've been told I need to spend, and I got to get a certain return on it. I've got to get a 20 or 30% return on that money. Well, the fund guys themselves are looking for a 3x return, right? So how do you do that? Well, you buy a business and grow it. You buy a business, make it more efficient, or you buy a bunch of businesses and consolidate them and eliminate all the redundant expenses with all the other ones. So it's a pretty simple playbook, uh, but it's that you can see the big players out there. So ATI is one of the biggest ones that I think everyone can point to and see they're playing this playbook is they got bought, and Jeff Moore was told, here's a bucket of money, now go buy your way, you got to go spend this money. And so they've bought up a whole bunch of folks, but one of the first things they do is look at, their ATIs was big to start out with, but they have a really good organized core in Anaheim at their flagship office where they can run a lot of the admin stuff, including estimating, out of one office. And so they buy a business in New England. Well, that estimator no longer has a job, right? Because they've got that covered. Now all they need to do is get the information over to the central office, and they can write estimates all day, every day. So that's the playbook. Is where can we find the efficiencies? Where can we find um, these cost savings? And then ultimately, that's going to be resold again, right? These
Uh-huh.
businesses are being bought and sold and bought and sold and just repackaged. But the redesign, the fundamental redesign that these businesses go through in the PE world is unique. Um, and so what I'm seeing is a lot of guys, there's a sweet spot in there, 5 to 10 million